welcome to Askimo TV. We are talking with Dr. Neil Sankar, a physician who currently works in the field of clinical development in California. Hello, Dr. Sankar, and thank you for joining us.
Oh, hi. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, Dr. Sankar, how does a new drug enter the market, and what is the process that it faces?
Okay, so, there are a lot of time points associated with the development of a new chemical entity or a new molecular entity. There is a phase which is what is called as the preclinical phase. Then you have what is called as the clinical phase. So the preclinical phase, you probably look at, the toxicity, and then you look at the pharmacokinetics, which would mean how the body reacts to this, this molecule or the compound, and then you look at the metabolism, how once you infuse the compound, how that compound is metabolized within the body. So it's a long drawn process, and there are a lot of steps involved with that.
Okay. And what kind of time frame is normal for a new drug from the day of its conception until it's released onto the market?
You are looking at around 10 to 12 years, because the preclinical phase, as I told you, they have to do this, and they have to look at the chemistry manufacturing control, which would include the stability of the drug, the solubility of the drug. A lot of these things are done in preclinical phase, and then they have to do the clinical part, which would include the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, of the trials. And so normally you're looking 10 to 12 years is the time span.
Wow, okay. And when a drug reaches the clinical trial stage, how long does it stay there for? And at what point is it deemed a success or a failure?
That's a good question. So it could happen at any time. So, for example, you may, from the conceptual phase to when it comes to phase 1, normally in the phase 1, you probably look at the toxicity and also how much the first time in human study will measure what is the exact dose a patient can take during the phase 1 part of the trial. Then it goes to phase 2, where they look at more of the drug absorption, PK, pharmacokinetics, and as I told you earlier, the metabolism part, then phase 3. So the probability that most of the drugs, I can tell you, like only 20 to 25% of the drugs which start in phase 1 come to the approval status. So normally, just so that you get a background, there are 5,000 to 10,000 chemical compounds are identified at the proof of concept phase. From then on, you come to around phase 1, you come to around 250. From the 250, when you start the phase 1, only, 10 gets validated. Then it goes to the phase 1. From phase 1, from the start of phase 1, only around 20 to 25% go up to the phase 3.
And then what happens to a drug that fails the clinical trial?
Actually, they will probably discontinue the program, because unless, they see another type of indication. Because even if they see another indication where this drug could be used, they have to still start from, the basic, the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So normally, the drug will be discontinued. The development process will be discontinued for that particular therapy.
Okay. And who manages this process of development? Does it remain with one person from the beginning all the way until the end, or at each stage does it switch hands?
No, it normally what happens is sponsor is the company which makes the drug, and then depending on how the contract is structured, they may outsource it to a contract research organization, which may be called as a CRO, which would probably, so it cannot be a single person who will be doing it. It involves a group of teams, from operations to, clinical development team to biostatistics. So there's a group of people involved, and the clinical trial sites, where the drug has been used as, for testing. So, but normally the contract would be structured that, it's CRO or sponsor, depending on, sometimes sponsor may take the whole responsibility and may conduct the trial, or the CROs on behalf of the sponsor will do it.
Okay, and who's liable for the drug if it causes damage during the trial stage?
It's our sponsor. It's the pharmaceutical company or the drug manufacturer.
Okay. And
the final responsibility will stay with them.
Okay. From what I've gathered, you've worked and trained all over the world. And are the drug development processes and regulations different according to different countries?
Yes and no. So the regulations are different. Regulations are different, but still, a lot of these processes remain the same. So they still have to go through the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But some of the countries, when you do these trials, some of the countries do require that, especially countries like India, China would require that you manufacture the drug entity in India. Otherwise, you may have to do from phase 1. So they require that the drug is manufactured in their own country to undertake the trial.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Sankar. It's been most informative. And hopefully we'll speak to you again soon.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Zara. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.